How can God be in time and outside time at the same time? The answer to that is that God is eternal and he is the creator behind all things, and therefore he is able to work in such ways as to infiltrate the laws in which he has created, and he alone is able to do that which may be impossible to our minds to be able to comprehend, but he's able to do so because he is the unbegotten beginning and the unending end. Let's unpack exactly what all of this means. Basically, God can be in time and outside time at the same time because he is the creator of time itself. We know that from the Big Bang and the second law of thermodynamics that there truly was a beginning to our universe, and we know from Genesis 1:1 that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, and we know that God himself is timeless. God creates, but he is not bound by that which he creates. He forever transcends that which he creates. So how can we come to understand this? Let us think of an ocean, for example. Let us just think of being out there in the middle of nowhere. Now let's drop down a few hundred meters. If we were able to just pop something randomly into existence, let's say we could pop a jar, a fairly large jar, into existence within the middle of the ocean underwater. Immediately as we pop that in there, the jar immediately gets full and filled with water. Now, God is like the ocean. His eternality has always been and will always be. And we know there's different modes to God's eternality, which we've covered in other videos. There's God's supra-eternality. There's God's eternal eternality. There are many different modes, and this obviously has been unpacked in other videos, but for the sake of understanding, we know that in the different modes and vantage points of God, all things have happened at once for him. In certain modes, he's tenseless, and at other points, he's timeless. At other times, he's atemporal. He's both in time and outside time at the same time. So when we take this example, God is like the ocean. He's eternal. So everywhere we look, a couple hundred meters down in the ocean, we just see water. That's like God's eternality. But when God brought our universe into existence, which is where time, space, matter, and energy all entered simultaneously, it's like the jar entering water. And then immediately the jar is full. Now, God is able to flow within the jar and flow outside the jar at his own will and at his own discretion. And we see that this water that is within the jar, it's not the same water that will be continually. We see an ever-flowing of water coming in and out. And it as the jar especially begins to fall, different water will come out and more water will come in. But the same water is not just going to stay there. And likewise is it with God. God is the ocean. He's still eternal. He's still all that he is. Everything is as it is at once for him. He's not caught off guard by anything. However, he, at his own discretion and will, can enter into the jar, which is entering into our universe, speaking certain things, such as when the Lord Jesus Christ was baptized and a voice came from heaven and he said, "This is my beloved Son with whom I am well pleased." Or he enters into time, speaking to Moses in Exodus 3 at the burning bush. Or in the book of Deuteronomy, he speaks out of the fire, or whatever it might be. He's able to enter into time at his own discretion and will, interact without losing sight and without losing all that he is, because he can't be confined by that which he creates. He's forever outside of it. So he's still at the same time outside of time, but when he enters into the jar, he himself is still outside, but he's also interacting within time at his own discretion and will while remaining outside of time at the same time. So hopefully that analogy gives some insight behind how God can be both in time and outside time at the same time. May we just give honor, praise, and glory to the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. May all come to know the one true God by believing that Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior and repenting of their sins.